All right, family. So we are here checking out the city. My man Shed have showed me various parts of the country, Mauritania, and I tell you, it's really interesting. But I have some hard questions to ask him that I've heard about Mauritania. So you ready, my brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
It is said that Mauritania, you can own slaves here in this country. And I heard and saw some videos about this. And I heard also about one of the leaders or somebody here in the last 10 years was trying to change how things are here. Is this true about slavery?
First of all, let me make it clear. The word slavery has its definition on the dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's your first time to come to Mauritania, when you know or want to talk about slavery, you have your own perception of what is slavery. But slavery has another connotation here in Mauritania. We have proud slaves here in Mauritania. You may call somebody a slave, but he is proud of himself. Because some people live in their house and they own slaves, and these people are no longer slaves, they are just dependent. They depend on their masters who feed them, treat them, and make them go to school and their children and so on. And you can take them out of this house because they were grown in this house, and they have been taught many things in this house. So you can come one day and say that these are slaves. For them, they are no longer slaves. They're just dependent. Economically, they are dependent.
So help me understand this right here. Because when I think of slavery, because I come from America, lived in America, came from Africa, but slavery, I think of a person working for free, don't have no liberty to come and go as they please, and that's what I think of slavery. So, are these people here that you make mention of slavery? You say they work for families. They've been with the family for years. They're proud of being a slave. You say, is that not correct?
Yeah, go ahead.
And do they get paid? Are they free to go or leave or do what they want?
Okay, some of them are free to go. They can go at any time they want. But most of them prefer to stay with their family rather than going in the streets or going to rent their own house or doing their own business. They prefer to live in the house with their masters or their old masters who mastered their parents, their great-grandparents, and they don't know anything else, only this family. So they better prefer to stay with these people. And they are not paid, but they can eat, drink, and live in this house without paying anything. So if you understand, so I just want to say they are no longer slaves but dependents. They depend on this family.
They depend on the family.
They work there, they do all the chores, all the job in the house, they do it. They clean, they wash, they cook, all this stuff, they do it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the month, they are not paid. But if there is for example, a male slave or a man slave, for example, when he wants to get married, they can even give him the money. They give him money to get married, and he can bring his wife in the house and his kids too. And if he's sick, they can bring him to the hospital and so on and so forth. So that's why I was saying at the very beginning that some of them can be called the proud slaves. If you call them slaves, that's fine with them.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's fine. Like in our communities, we have it too. The Mauritanian community, like the Pular community, we have the slaves. You call them when you are organizing a baptism or wedding. They come and cook or do all of the stuff. At the end of the day, it depends on you how much you can give them. But they are not telling you how much you should pay. It depends on you. You can count money and give them just to help them keep doing their life. Yeah, that's it.
So is there a lot of slaves here in this country like that lives with you said masters. I don't like that word, but
Yeah.
but they have been. You said from generations and generations, they have been living with these families.
Yeah.
Some are African families.
Yeah.
Some are Arab families.
Yeah.
And they've been with them for years.
Yeah.
That's all they know.
Yeah.
And also, I guess they don't want to go leave.
Mm-hmm.
They like what they're doing. You're saying.
Yeah. 10 years ago, there is an abolitionist called Biramul Dabet. He started fighting against slavery.
Yeah.
And the government also took the decision to abolish slavery in Mauritania.
Yeah.
To abolish slavery in Mauritania, there are some people who refuse to quit the houses. They prefer to stay in these houses to be considered as slaves better than letting them go out. And that's what made most of these people who own slaves what made them proud and made them stronger. Because if you want to take somebody out of the house, he grow up in this family house. His father to his great grandfathers, all his family lives with the same house. You can't come one day and tell them you have to change life. You have to go and rent and live by yourself. They can't accept it. Yeah, that's why, as I told you, the government took the decision to abolish it. And at the same time, also people are fighting against it.
Those who have slaves and also the slaves, they rather keep it the same.
Yeah, it's becoming a kind of family. Like the slave or the so-called slave is now a family member. He lives in the family, he lives in the house, but he doesn't have the same rights as the other family will live in the same house. No.
He don't have the same rights.
He doesn't have the same rights. He lives aside. He lives in the same house but have his own room, all stuff together. He can't eat with them. That's what we see in Mauritania. And also in our communities, and in our communities also, like the Pular community, we have what we call Machube. And this Machube, some of them are proud of themselves, and there are others who don't want to be called, so they don't want this name. You can't call somebody Machube, he won't accept it. But another one can accept because he's dependent. If he knows he's gonna get some money, you will give him some money, or you will help them, he will accept it. Otherwise, he is free, and he is free to be not dependent on you. You can see also somebody working in the government in a high rank, a rich person, but he's considered as a lower class.
Because there is classes that are here.
We have different classes.
And please share some of the classes quickly.
Especially the Moorish classes, I know few of them, but in my community, the Pular community, we have Torobe, we have Machube, we have Subalbe, we have Aulube.
What are those? What does that mean?
To make it short, we have the highest class and the lowest, the middle class and the lower class. We have the fishermen.
These are considered lower class.
Not that lower class, but in the middle, yeah.
Okay.
Because it depends on their functions, what they were doing back in the days.
Okay.
Like those people who are working, for example, in the shepherds, for example.
Okay.
The fishermen and
what would be considered a lower class?
The lowest class is considered as Machube.
What's that?
Machube is a slave. It's called a slave.
He's called a slave.
Those people, as I said that just at the very beginning, those people are not paid.
Okay.
They work for free back in the days. But now, whenever they organize something or they have, for example, a wedding or baptism, they can come to you are the higher, a member of the higher class. You can give them money because they depend on you. Your parents were their masters. You understand what I mean? Back in the days. So they can come to you, ask you some money, or ask you for help, and then you do it. Yeah.
What and what type of jobs or professions would be considered higher class?
Now we are talking about another issue.
Okay, so there's a different thing.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
Yeah, in our community we have the higher class, means those people who are well educated, but people who have money.
Okay, money, education.
Yeah,
okay,
money and education.
Okay.
And we have religious education and we have the modern education.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them or both of them.
Okay.
And the other one, their children have never been to school. They don't need to go to school. They have just to serve.
Okay.
Yeah, from that time, they become the lower class.
So really, at the end of the day, there's everybody, like you said, is a slave in one way or another, dependent upon the system.
Yeah, like as I said at the beginning, the definition of slavery in the dictionary has its own meaning.
Yeah.
And the reality of slavery in Mauritania has its image. And if it's up to me, I would say that slavery is when somebody is unable to take his own decision. If the government decides for you how to live, if the government decides for you where to live, and I can call that slavery, because you are not free to decide what you want to eat, how you want to live. So I call this slavery. That's why I say, oh, we are all slaves. We are all dependents. We can choose for ourselves. You can choose what to eat today, what to drink right now, but you can choose how you can live. Yeah, this is what I call the dependent slavery, that you depend on the government, whatever it does, that's fine. So this is the way you should accept it. If you accept, you are a slave, because you can't have the decision for yourself.
Okay. Well, you know, I used to be a slave. I was in the military for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I had to go when they say go. I had to turn left, right, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. I was a slave for 20 years. And, you know, they had sent me off to war, had to leave my family at any given time. And once I broke away from that and I got my freedom papers, that means I became my own businessman. I became my own boss. I was able to make the decisions for myself.
Now you're a free man.
I'm a free man. And I hope and pray that every person out here who is under a master or under a system that you can't make your own decision and you're desiring, I hope that the Most High will give you that liberty. All right, family. So, you know, it's been a great time with my friend here who showed me around here in the city. How you pronounce the name of the city here in Mauritania?
We pronounce it Nouakchott.
I'll never get that together. How do you say it?
Nouakchott.
Nouakchott.
Yeah.
Okay. And I appreciate you, brother, showing me around. You know, y'all, hopefully, I hope you've seen that they have the beach here. You know, they have a town. It's a small city.
Okay.
Small city here in the country, but yet beautiful people, busy, hardworking people. And what is it that you would, what are the 4 groups of people here in this country?
You can meet here Pular people, Hassaniya people, Wolof and Soninke people.
Okay.
And you will be welcome in Mauritania with different type of smiles.
Different
you will be
types of
happy.
smiles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All righty then. So we thank you, brother, for allowing me to come into your country and you showing me the great place, the great country that you live in. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, family, this is your man. This is your,
Sheikh.
not your boy. Go black to
Africa.
All righty.